Yeah, we're working
Okay.
right now. We should be on momentarily.
Okay. Is it a possibility that I can go with my concern? I wait until.
You can do what?
Go ahead with my concern. I would like to share a few views or points.
No, hold on a second. Because not everybody can hear you.
Okay. All
All
right.
right,
I'll
so
call back.
sure. Okay, no problem.
All right.
Mike, Mike, check. Oh, can't hear me now. Okay, good, 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 good. Let me just say, thank you to my technical guy, Kevin. Yeah, me can hear you. Yes, I'm good now. All right, thanks a lot. All right, good. All right, thanks. All right, bye. All right. Everybody can hear me now? Yes. Yes, 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 indeed. Good, good. All right. Well, I tell you what. Um, I don't know what this is. I won't speculate on it. All I'm saying is that it just seems like all the time, not all the time. Some of the times when we get ready to start the program, we have some issues. But these are machines, and so the issues are just technical. I won't add any nefarious activity to them, to the delays. But anyway, good afternoon and welcome to Reason with Rattigan with your host, yours truly, Will, the Rebel Rattigan, on Reggae Global Radio, Facebook, and YouTube. Family, because of my travel plans last weekend, I had to cancel the broadcast. And I was pleasantly surprised by the number of heartfelt inquiries I received concerning my absence. Almost all of you expressed concern about my health. Well, I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but for today, my health and my condition are fine. Sometimes it takes absence to realize the importance of your presence. Thank you so much for your concern and your prayers. Also, many thanks to all of you for tuning in, and please continue to like, subscribe, and share. The message is spreading and the movement is growing. And just let's keep it going. Everybody there, right? Brooklyn, Jamaica, where else? All over the place. England, all over America. Big up on yourself. The PM, that's the Prime Minister, and the Police Commissioner, we can't take any, well, call out, stand by. We can't take any calls right now. Just listen to the message, all right?
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Uh, yeah, the Prime Minister and the Police Commissioner are of the opinion that social media personalities, example, YouTubers, that they're a nuisance and spreading misinformation. Now, I don't think they were talking about me or they were referring to me, but admittedly, I believe to some degree I'm a nuisance to them. But for sure, I have not and will not misinform the public. In fact, I've developed a reputation for always researching and providing documentary proof of my accusation and criticism of government officials. And today will be no different. I made what I should have done in the promo in the middle of the week, and even today, I should have mentioned that you should show up with pen and paper because today we're gonna take. Well, I'm gonna take you on a journey through the Constitution. And I need you to write these things down. And we're also going to take a journey through some documents I received last week concerning the Honorable Kamina Johnson, Minister Kamina Johnson Smith. And you're going to find all of these things interesting. And like I said earlier, it's not hearsay. It's not somebody telling me that they heard from somebody that this was going on or that I dreamt this. I'm going to show you. The documents are lined up. Documents are lined up. So forgive me for not telling you that you should have your pen and paper ready, because I will talk about the issues in plain terms, very plain terms, so that everyone, educated, undereducated, and uneducated, can understand and relay the message to your family, friends, neighbors, and companions who are not tuned in today. Family, you see, I can only enlighten you, and then it's up to you to relay the message to the other family members. How it go? Each one teach one. Same so. So if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen, hurry up, get one, or get them, because you will need them. Because I want to make sure that when you relay this message, you can talk to your parliamentarian, you can talk to a lawyer, you can talk to anybody about the Constitution with reference to certain people. And also, when you hear certain things about the Minister Kamina Johnson Smith, you can rubbish them because you'll have the documentation. All right? So hurry up and get your paper and get your pen. Again, big up to everyone for the patience and the dedication. You didn't have to be here. And even when you got here, because of the delay, you could have moved on somewhere else. And maybe some of you have. Those of you who are still here, reach out to your friends and your family members and your neighbors and whomever and tell them come back, because we're on and sound is here, video is here, everything is working. Slight delay. I will not have any guests today. Dr. Lennon, John, as affectionately known to us, he's watching. And John, you can jump on whenever you feel like. Herb, I explained to him the same thing today. The reason is because we have a lot of things to cover today. And I want it to be a conversation between us. But these the two gentlemen I just mentioned, if they are so inclined, they can jump on and ask the questions, join me, whatever. But I'm just going to try and go through this stuff because we have a lot. And I want to make sure I cover it. And I want to make sure, more than anything else, you understand it. So I will not have any guests today. 2 weeks ago, I had the Jamaica Federation Chairman, Corporal Rowan James, as a guest. And the following week, the JCF took severe action against him for remarks he made at a prior event. Had nothing to do with my event. At least my event, my radio show wasn't, our YouTube show wasn't mentioned. So I don't think it had anything to do with it, and I won't make that connection. Now, I've been provided the police regulations, and it would appear that the JCF violated its own procedures in punishing Chairman James. Additionally, I was made aware that the JCF put out misinformation, and the whole purpose of that was to tarnish the Federation's executives, and they even attacked the chairman's integrity, fitness for duty, etc. Had to do with his personal records, that somehow his personal record was released to the media. I shouldn't even say released, I should say it was broadcasted by the media. So the question then is, how did the media came into possession of Chairman James's personal records having to do with time and leave and attendance? Those records are confidential. They're confidential. They're not supposed to be released. So I'm hoping that at some point I'll hear from the police commissioner that there will be an investigation as to how this information got to the media. But they use that, and I think it happened, whatever happened took place 8 or 12 years ago, a long time. And now it's been brought into the fray. It's been brought into consideration. And it looks as if it has some role to play as to how this matter will be resolved. It shouldn't have come out in the first place. But be that as it may, I'm sure the chairman will deal with it appropriately. You would hope that the differences between the Federation and the JCF management would be handled in good faith and resolved in a timely manner without any judicial interference and any retaliatory action. However, it doesn't seem to be the case. And now we're watching the drama unfold, play out in court. The good news is that I believe the publicity around the issue caused the JCF to hold what they described as a sensitization and discussion forum. Sensitization and discussion forum. And that was held Wednesday to update the members on the implementation of the overtime system and to receive feedback. I trust that it was fruitful and pray that Chairman James will be afforded justice and allowed to return to his position in due course. Also, last week, I was unable to make my regular appearance on Andre Stevens' show, and I learned that co-host Isat Buchanan made some unfortunate remarks concerning the DPP, and he became the subject of severe pressure from influential quarters in Jamaica. I have been provided information regarding others who have committed similar and worse transgressions, but they weren't subjected to the same scrutiny and treatment as ISAT. I have also been given the understanding that ISAT quickly admitted his mistake. He apologized and he resigned from a significant position he held in the opposition party. And now he has faced and continue to face massive criticism and possibly a negative impact on his professional life. We must keep him in our prayers, and I'm sure, absolutely sure, that he will emerge from this for the better. And those who are stoning him, think about your own fallibility. Think about your own mistakes. Think about the forgiveness you have received when you made those mistakes. And think about the power of redemption. He who is without sin cast the first stone. I start, big up yourself. Today, we are going to discuss the reasons I believe King Charles III should take appropriate action against the Governor General. And through recently acquired documents, I am going to expose the misinformation provided by Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith in her signed sworn affidavit. And when I'm finished, I hope, probably won't happen, but I'm hoping that she will tender her resignation. I'll present the evidence. And it's a lot, but I'll present it. And family, you make up your minds. Take a look at it and just tell me. And again, this is not hearsay. I'm going to provide you with documents, show you documents I received from the US government. And I'm also going to provide you with documents I received from the Jamaican government. So Rattigan are really involved in this. All I'm doing, I'm just a courier. I'm just a collator. I'm just collating the information so that and then present it to you so that you can see and make up your mind. But I've looked at it. And in my opinion, she should tender a resignation. She's useless at this point. Cannot be trusted. And I'll show you why. I will make the presentation about the Governor General, and then I'll engage you through the chat room and also by telephone. Please note that as a housekeeping matter, no telephone calls will be taken during my presentations. Once the segment is over, I'll take questions and I'll review comments for as long as it takes. And then we'll start the second presentation. And I'm sure you understand that. In terms of streamlining and the flow of the information, I just cannot take phone calls during the presentation. So bear with me. And that's a small ask. Please join the conversation via the chat rooms on the Reggae Global Radio platform. By the way, people on the radio, they could hear me. So big up yourself, Reggae Global Radio, but there is something going on with online, with restreaming. So, but anyway, thanks to Kevin, that's sorted out. As I said, join the conversation by the chat rooms on the Reggae Global platform or my YouTube channel, Reason with Rattigan. And by the way, the phone number is at the bottom of the screen. Those of you who are listening via radio, you don't have a video, so you can't see it. The number is 667-369-8569. And let me repeat, the number is 667-369-8569. And remember, call at the end of the presentation, not during. And I'll give you plenty of time, let you know that I'm finishing up, and then you can start calling. Before I go any further, let me join the legions of Jamaicans across the globe in recognizing the Emancipation and Independence holidays. And as you celebrate, please, family, take a little time to delve into the history of both and share that knowledge. I assure you, if you delve into the history, particularly the history of independence, August 6, 1962, you're going to come across things that you didn't know. I've done the work, but I cannot do everything for everybody because otherwise we don't get lazy, right? And we don't want lazy people around here. We want people, hardworking, dedicated people. So just, you don't have to go too far to find and understand the history concerning independence and what we're celebrating. So that's why, I won't make a big hoopla about the celebration, except to say that I recognize it. Please don't forget to tune into Reggae Global Radio tonight at midnight until 2 a.m. And as we say, relax with the rebel. Tonight, the selection will be slow jams. Now, I've been refining the playlist for almost 2 weeks, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So make plans to join me at midnight tonight on Reggae Global Radio. Shout out time. Prayers and blessings for all of you. All of you. Especially Mama Eileen, Papa Trevor, Ma P, Desmond, Paul, Ma Jean, Bob, and of course, Mrs. Nelson, the lovely wife of our dear friend and brother, Herb Nelson Jr. Big shout out to my family by blood, relations, and choice. And that's all of you again. Bless up the Reggae Global family. Joanna, Melly, Ryan Dangerous, and the crew. Edmaster, G. Cole, who else? Of course, Kevin. Can't forget Kevin. The Meadowbrook crew. The Firehouse crew. Eric. We see you, sir. The Rollington crew. Donovan and the Admiral. Big up on yourself. And the crew of hardworking Jamaicans, including the JCF and JDF members. I said JDF members, the ones, especially the ones getting ready, preparing to go to Haiti. Yeah, we have to big you up, and we have to say a lot of prayers for them. All of the maids, the laborers, and the people struggling to make ends meet. Like, as I've said, week in, week out, the almost 2 million of you living in Jamaica who go to bed hungry or with a belly full of unhealthy food. In the fullness of time, the suffering will come to an end. And that's my purpose for being here. To get the government to provide prosperity, opportunity, safety and security, education, infrastructure, jobs, health, etc., as it promised since 2016 and was elected to provide. 2016, 2020, we received a lot of promises and we became very hopeful. And so far, we don't think the government is fulfilling its promises to the people. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Here's another reason why I'm here. You know, my first house in Waterhouse, first residence, see that? 41 Penwood Crescent. And I'll keep saying it. You're gonna, even if people get tired at me, no care. Can't forget where I come from. And I just said that's another reason for being here. But here's a connection with 41 Penwood Crescent. Enough respect and love go to Mr. Guntley Williams, my neighbor at 39 Penwood Crescent, right next door. This place, 39 Penwood Crescent. Family, let me tell you about Mr. Guntley Williams. He is batting well. On Tuesday, a few days ago, he cracked the century mark. Not out at 100 and counting. Milestone. Look, I experienced several dark periods in my life. And one of them occurred in 1971 when my father was deported. Yeah, from Canada, and had nowhere to live when he returned to Jamaica. At the time, I was living with relatives in Olympic Gardens, the Prime Minister's constituency. He wasn't the Prime Minister then. Let me just say that condolences to the Smiths, some cousins of mine, because that's the family I lived with on McKinley Crescent, right off Olympic Way. Big Roy, the patriarch of the family, he passed away. I think it was today. So Timai, Dermy, rest of the family, condolences, link me later, now we talk. Also, another family member of mine, Rose, from off of Russell Road, the Barnaby family, she passed on as well. Condolences to the entire family. And we'll talk soon. But getting back to Mr. Guntley, the Centurion. You know, when my father came back and was deported, he took my father in. Because remember, we used to live next door. He took him in. And pretty soon, I had to leave the Smiths and go down there, bottom of Waterhouse, and start living with my father in Mr. Guntley's yard. Mr. Guntley provided food and shelter for us. There were 4 houses in that yard, 4 board houses. And I stayed in a 1-room board house that had 2 single beds, 1 nightstand, and it had a dolly or a doily. You know what I thought, the crochet thing. It had one of that on top of the nightstand with a home sweet home kerosene lamp. That was it. 2 single beds, nightstand in the middle, home sweet home lamp. On one of the beds was Mr. Guntley's mother, affectionately known as Granny. On the other bed, it was me and Mr. Guntley's sons. If you notice, I said sons, plural. Plural. His sons. Flatty, Doggy D, and Bugs Bunny. And in order to fit on that bed, we moved the bed a little bit away from the board wall, so as to create some space so that somebody could kind of like fit halfway through there. And we slept on our sides. We couldn't sleep on our backs or anything. We had to sleep on our side, head to foot, alternate. And after school, we played in our lovely and spacious park, Penwood Crescent, barefooted, road full of craters. But that was home. That was our situation. And we accepted it because we didn't know any better. Dinner was stretched. You know what I said stretch? You stretch the food to make sure that everybody had something to eat. We were never full. Maybe that's why those of you who know me know how to eat. But we were satisfied. And after dinner, you know, we were told, go on to bed. And we washed our feet in the cestant. Or as a friend of mine said, cistern. We don't know the word. We know cestant. And some of you out there, you know what I'm talking about. That square concrete thing with the one pipe, and you do everything underneath that pipe. You know, you wash clothes, wash your foot, bathe your children, do whatever you need to do. In the morning, we would use a coal stove to boil water and make mint or orange peel or lime leaf tea. And that went well with a slice of bread plastered with anchor butter. And occasionally we would have a skull egg or a fry egg to accompany the bread and butter. Those of you old enough, you know the butter I'm talking. I don't know if they still make it, anchor butter. Now, Mr. Guntley had a fourth son named One Son who visited sometimes. So he had 4 sons, and 3 of them lived with him. 1 lived elsewhere. Sadly, 3 of Mr. Guntley's 4 sons are dead. My brethren, Doggy D was gunned down near Crossroads. Our best friend at the time, Flatty, he was killed and dumped on a highway in New York. And one son died of medical complications. So Bugs Bunny is the lone survivor out of Mr. Guntley's children. And he's watching from Pennsylvania this afternoon. So Bunny, big up yourself, brother. Keep the faith. Stay strong. And let's continue the dialogue and stay in touch. Now, Mr. Guntley kept and took care of his family, my father and me, for as long as he could, until his wife, Miss Tammy, complained about the financial strain of taking care of all of us. And one Sunday morning, I'll never forget, she started complaining. I said, Mr. Rattigan, if you find some, if you send him son. And my father told me to pack a little suitcase, a dulcimina, and said to me, go live with the auntie, Aunt Dar, on Maxfield Avenue. Aunt Dar, Glamour Wayne, Steve, Patsy, Donna, and the rest of the Knight family, big up on yourself. May God continue to bless you now. Now, I understood Miss Tammy's complaint, and I bore no ill feelings. Times were tough, and she did what she had to do. However, throughout my stay, Mr. Guntley never showed me a bad face and always encouraged me to do well in school. So, Sir Guns, big up yourself on the central mark, and may the Almighty continue to bless you. I'll link you this week here, sir. So, you know it go between me and you. Everything nice. Big up Raleigh in Minnesota. Raleigh and his family. His mother, Miss Lou, his father, Mr. Gopi, and his sisters and brothers, Anne-Marie, Nelly, Pulo, Tonic, and Lakaleka. They lived across the street from Mr. Guntley. And their residence was the big yard where everyone congregated. Every inner city community, most of it, well, all of them have at least one big yard where it's just everybody just congregate at that yard. And in my neck of the woods, that was the yard. Mr. Gopi was a very considerate and kind man. He emphasized education. He was an engineer. He emphasized education. And he always sprinkled it with some domino strategies, an outstanding domino player. And we learned a lot about life, about school, while playing domino with him. He didn't have much patience for people who couldn't read the game, though, like me. Whenever he got paid, he brought home all kinds of baked goods and made sure that all of the children in the neighborhood had something to eat. Those were the good days. We didn't have much, but we had love. And we had an abiding sense of community. So bless up all of the people in our Waterhouse, Olympic Gardens, Whitfield Gardens, Jonestown, and Meadowbrook. You have caused the difference in the way I started out and where I am today. And I'm eternally grateful to all of you. And every time I sit behind this microphone and in the way I conduct my life, I'll try my level best to live up to your expectations. Of course, I'm imperfect and I'll make mistakes, but I know I can count on you to forgive me. I know that because that's who you are. That's who we are. The Reggae Girls have done well, and it is our great hope that they will go all the way to the finals and win the World Cup. I'm not discounting them, you know, and no one should. The ball, as we said, the ball around, you know, and you have to play. You don't play the game on paper, you play the game on the field. So I'm hopeful that the Reggae Girls will go all the way and win it. Not just show up for the final, but win it. But ask yourself the question, how did they get to the World Cup tournament? They got there practice, practice, practice. And also through funding from family, friends, well-wishers, and the government. If you had asked me about the funding issue with the Reggae Girls, I wouldn't have mentioned the government. If you had asked me before Thursday, I wouldn't have mentioned the government. But Thursday night, I happened to listen to Minister Babs Grange. She was on a platform hosted by the Jamaican ambassador to the United States, Miss Ambassador Audrey Marks. And she explained that, yes, the government did provide subsidies directly and indirectly to the team. But she admitted, she said, what was provided was not enough. She said more could be done. And it was as a result. Hello? Nobody can hear me? Can you hear me? Somebody said not hearing anything. Andrea Hunt. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you can. Good, good, good. All right. So, no, understand, Andrea, understand me, I believe what Bob's is saying, but you know what? I don't have the evidence to contradict her. So I'll take her at face value. But remember what she said. She said that the government did not do enough, right? And as a result of that, I believe that it was out of necessity that the some team members or a team member came up with an unconventional financial strategy, GoFundMe, and they used it to support our national team. It is worth noting that the government has thrown significant support behind unworthy and unnecessary causes like Minister Kamina Johnson Smith's bid to become Secretary General of the Commonwealth. That failed venture cost the taxpayers approximately $43 million. Think about what that money could have done for the Reggae Girls and the other national teams. I'm also hearing that the national netball team, and I have a cousin who used to play for the Jamaica national team, Baba Jean Barrett, years ago, decades ago. But the Sunshine Girls is in dire straits for funding as well. By the way, where is corporate Jamaica? They showed up for Kamina Johnson, Minister Kamina Johnson Smith. All right. Remember, they also, as I said, they made a significant contribution to her failed effort. Now, I'm curious as to whether a delegation of government officials will be in Australia to watch the Red Girls play. I'm curious. By the way, did someone say taxpayers' money? Because remember, government doesn't have any money. It's taxpayers' money. And they're there to shepherd those funds to causes. Shouldn't have shepherded any of the money to Minister Kamina Johnson Smith's thing, but it was done. All right, update, other news, issues. As I said several minutes ago, Isaac Buchanan is under tremendous pressure from several quarters, including PSOJ, and I find that to be quite interesting. I find it to be interesting I find it to be quite interesting because it's the same PSOJ who told the government to sign the code of conduct provided by the Integrity Commission in the spirit of anti-corruption. And no pressure has been applied to ensure that it's done. What ISAD said about the DPP was distasteful. It was wrong. And he admitted and apologized for his transgression. However, it cannot be compared, what ISAD did cannot be compared to what corruption has done to Jamaica. No audio. Goodness. Sound gone. Hold on a second. Let me call back. Let me call back, Kevin. No sound. Mike. Hold on. Kevin, the sound gone again, you know. Hello?
You're back. The audio is back.
Beg your pardon?
The audio is back.
Yeah, no. The
All right.
technician is
No,
working
no,
on
no.
it.
No. We can hear you. It's back.
Oh, it's back?
Yeah, we can hear you
Mike.
now. All right.
Okay. I can't. It's back. Mike. Check, Kevin, check for me now, please, because I don't see it. I don't see it registering on the graph. They say it's back. No, they can hear me, but I don't see it. Just check. Okay. Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, check for me. Yeah, Tigo. All right. All right, my brother. Cool. All right. Yeah. Again, I won't attribute any nefarious activity to why the sound is coming and going. Everything was working fine, but yeah, that's life. Big up Tigo from Ashuka Road. You think me I'll forget your brother? Them man, when me not no food at them man, the house me go Enka to get food, and I've known him for all of my life, and we're still in touch, tight as before, as ever. So, and then my monitor the program, part of me focus group, and then tell me when me I make mistakes, and tell me when the sound up, sound down. So much appreciated, my brethren. Big up yourself, big up June, big up all of the youth them. But getting back to the PSOJ, yeah, they haven't forced the government to sign the code of conduct regarding anti-corruption, and anti-corruption has done more damage to Jamaica over the years than ISAT could ever do with the remark that he made. Granted, the remark he made, as I said, it was unwise, it was wrong, it was uncalled for. And he himself said it. His father, Big Jayut, his father came on a program in the week, and his father said the same thing too. But people have to remember about the power of redemption. We have to remember about forgiveness. We should use it as a teachable moment to teach the young man how to conduct himself in a respectable manner on a public platform. He's genuinely sorry about the whole thing. But here it is that we come down on him like a ton of bricks and want to destroy this young, shining light. We want to kill him career. And that's not right. We should use these moments to teach.
Honesty. And you say honesty. Honesty. And you say honesty. Honesty. And you say honesty. And you say honesty.
Say what it says one of your streams is having a connection issue. Mike, the sound. Alright, so how about the sound? Hello?
Do you think that somebody could be sabotaging your program?